Hello, and welcome to the review channel. Today I'm going to be installing and reviewing this hang-on tilting TV wall mount. This wall mount is regulated for use for a TV that's within the parameters of 32 inches to 47 inches. The TV I'm going to be installing is 39 inches. I bought this wall mount from Walmart for about $15. Let's get started. Inside the box, you get a hanging template, a quick startup guide, and a product guide, which is more in-depth. You also get a hanging bracket and two hangers, one for the right side and one for the left. We also have some hardware over here. This is hardware that's going to be used to assemble the mounting bracket onto the wall. And then there's also some hardware that's going to be used to connect the hangers to the TV. All of the hardware is clearly labeled with letters that correspond to the instructions. The quick setup guide tells us that we're going to need a few things before we get started. The items are as follows. The things we're going to need are a Phillips screwdriver, a drill with a 5x32 inch drill bit, a 3x8 inch drill bit, a hammer, an electric drill, a stud finder, a level which is included, a socket wrench, and finally your TV. Before I get started, first I'm going to determine where on the wall I want the TV to go. First thing you want to do is hold up your TV to the spot where you want it and make a mark at the top of the screen. So the first thing I'm going to do before I get started is attach the hangers to the back of the TV. You want to set your TV on a soft surface so as not to damage it or scratch the screen. I got it over here on my bed. When you've got a good spot to work on, go ahead and turn the TV around. Also, make sure the TV is laid flat on the surface. You'll notice on the back of your screen that there are some holes. There's usually two on one side and then two on the other side. So for my TV, they are located right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of my hangers and align them up with the holes. What I like to do is the bottom of the hanger has a little, I want to call this like a sliding section. So I align the bottom hole with the top of that section, and then I see where the top hole matches up. Okay, that's where I'm going to be screwing it on. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now we're ready to screw them in. For this TV, I'm going to be using the M6 by 12 millimeter screw and the M6/M8 washer. So the first thing you want to do is get your hanger and align the slot over the hole on the TV. Then you want to put your washer right over that, and then your screw goes right in there. Then you're going to use a screwdriver to tighten that up. If you're going to be using long screws and spacers, make sure not to drill too tight, because what can happen is you can puncture the screen on the other side of the TV and damage your TV permanently. Then you want to align the hanger with the top hole on the TV, and then it's the same thing. First, apply your washer, and then put your screw in. Grab your screwdriver and tighten that up. I also want to mention, you want to make sure that you're putting your hanger in the right way. The way to determine that is to see the section with the rope is going to be towards the bottom of the TV. Then you want to do the same thing on the other side. Also, I should mention, to determine which hanger is left and right, you want to make sure that this is facing towards the out of the screen. This little rotating knob is what you're going to use to tighten the tilt mechanism on the hanger. Next, it's time to do some measuring. Here's a cool trick. What you want to do is use your hanging template that's provided. And what you're going to do is take that and put it right into the hooks of the hangers. Then you want to grab your measuring tape and measure from the top of the TV to where the top of the template ends. So for my TV, it's roughly around, I'm going to say about 10.5 inches. So I've got my first mark on the wall, which was the previous mark that I had made. This is where the top of the TV is going to be. So now what I need to do is measure 10.5 inches underneath this mark and then make another mark. And that is where my hanging bracket is going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my measuring tape, put it at the top at where I made this mark. And I'm going to measure 10.5 inches. And make another mark right here. All right, all set. Now that I know where I want my template, now I got to figure out where my studs are behind my wall. So to do that, I'm going to get my stud finder and place it right on this line here. I'm going to find out where my studs are located in the wall. Okay, so I've got one stud here. I'm moving a little bit and make a little mark right here. So I know where my first stud is. I'll go back to the center. Then you want to go the opposite way until you find the other beam. Okay, so it's located right around there. So I'll make another mark right around here. Then I'm going to take my hanging template and position it right to that mark where I made. And then I'm going to find where I made the markings for the studs. Okay. So, right around here. Okay. Now when that's evened, I'm looking at getting these two evened out on the holes so that they're sitting right parallel. Not parallel, but mirrored. Okay, so that's about right. Then I'm going to grab my balance. Then I'm going to see where. Okay, that's about straight. I'm going to make a mark right here. And a mark right here. And the same thing on the bottom. Okay. Then I took my template off and I made a little bit more darker circles to make sure I know where I'm going to be drilling. This is a very crucial step in installing your wall mount, because if this section is not done right, then your wall mount might turn out crooked. So you want to measure everything correctly and make all the proper adjustments before you begin. Next, it's time to make some holes. I'm going to grab my drill along with the drill bit. Then I'm going to make some holes at the pre-marked spots. Next, I'm going to get the hardware for my wall mount ready. For that, I'm going to be using these lag bolts as well as these M7 washers. Next thing you want to do is grab your wall mount bracket and place it right over the holes that we made. You want to make sure that this arrow right here is pointing up. Right? Now I'm going to just balance it out one more time. Make sure everything is nice and straight. that's about straight. Okay. Now I'm going to grab one of my screws and washers, put the washer right through the screw, put the screw right into the wall. Okay, I might have to balance it one more time after this, because I'm going to balance it one final time before I tighten it all up for the final balancing. Make sure everything is straight. I'm kind of OCD, so if I have a crooked TV on my wall, it's gonna bother me for the rest of my life. All right, this part I can do with the screwdriver, and then from the ending, the tightening part, I'm gonna have to use the socket. All right, it's time to do that final balancing we talked about. All right, so I'm a little short on this side, so to make that a quick fix, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold this up while I tighten it. So that it should be nice and level. It's gonna be a little bit off, but that's fine. You want to make sure you tighten up all the screws nice and tight. Make sure everything is level. Then we're ready to begin assembling the TV onto the mount. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for, assembling the TV. I want to mention that if your TV is quite heavy, you might want to ask for some help to lift it up, because this part is a little bit tricky and you might either get injured or damage your TV in this section if you don't do it properly. So I'd recommend getting some help lifting your TV if you can. One thing I forgot to mention is you want to make sure that you leave these loosened up. You can tighten them later on. These are the adjusters for the tilt mechanism. First thing you want to do is you want to take your TV and align it up at the top. The top portions of the hanger are going to be the hooks for your TV. Okay, bear with me here for a second, please. I'll make sure the top hooks in and the bottom will just slide right in. And there you are. And there I have it. Nice wall-mounted TV. Now I'm going to show you how to adjust the tilt level on the TV. First thing you want to do is you want to, because we have already loosened those tilt mechanisms, you can easily swivel your TV. So what you want to do is you want to pick a comfortable section at where it's comfortable for you to view the TV at, a comfortable angle. Once you've selected your angle, you want to get behind the TV. We're going to go back to those swivels that we loosened earlier. Not sure if you can see. And you just want to go and tighten those up. You don't have to make it too tight, but just make sure it's on there so it's not going to be moving around. Come over to the other side, do the same thing. And there we go. And that's it for my review of the Hang-On Tilting TV Wall Mount. This product is a very good product because it's only $15 and it does the job right. The TV is very stable. It's not moving at all. It's nice and on there. As long as nobody bumps into it, I'm sure it'll stay on there for a long time. For this product, I'll give it a review channel rating of 7.2 because it does the job right. It's very affordable. And it's time to watch some movies. And I'll see you on the next one.